It's the tour of the Garden City, Georgetown. We currently have two packages available where we have the Main Street package and we have the Botanical / Independence Arch package. On the Main Street package, it starts at the Pegasus Hotel onto the Avenue of the Republic, and we conclude that packet at the Parliament Building. Along that path, we'll be talking about historical facts about the area, Kingston, about the city, Georgetown, about the country, Guyana, and we're going to also be giving you historical facts about all the different architectural buildings that you'll be seeing along that path and so forth.
So,
and then the Main Street / Independence Arch package is where we'll be taking you on a walk around the Botanics, over to the Castellani House to give you a little information about the state office, which is opposite. Then we take you to the 1763 Monument and conclude that package at the Independence Arch. What we do, though, is try to translate all the history in a storytelling form for our visitors and locals, so that at the ending of every tour, you have some amount of knowledge that you didn't have before to leave with. So we try to keep it entertaining in that aspect.
so how did this all get started?
How did
How did it get started, and why, and how did the name Provotique came up?
Okay, first of all, let me say how the name Provotique came out. Well, Provotique means an innovation to inspire. It's basically a creative initiative where we try to put a whole lot of different things together and make this walking tour the one of its kind in Indonesia that, okay, it's the first working tour of the city, and then we try to keep everything local and, put our thoughts together, both myself and partner, so that we can keep everything innovative and yet still local and natural. As well as the innovation that inspires, we try to inspire other young entrepreneurs or young people that probably might think of becoming an entrepreneur, that you can just literally take one thought and make it a reality and make it into a business. So we're inspiring young people that literally anything you can do and create. So basically that's what the name Provotique means, an innovation to inspire.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit more about this walk. So how does someone find you? How does a tourist or even a local person who wants to go on these educational walks, how do they find you?
Okay, so you can find us on our website at www.provotiquewalkingtours.com. That's Provotique, Provotique, walkingtours.com. You can also find us on Instagram at Provotique Walking Tours, on Facebook at Provotique Walking Tours, and you can also email us at provotiquewalkingtours@yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about how this gets started. You are someone. Do you do this? Do you wait until you have a certain amount of people before the tour begins? How does it work? What is the process?
Okay, so let's say Selwyn would like to have a tour. Selwyn booked us online, and he sent us an email saying, I would like to have a tour of your Main Street package on Wednesday. If Selwyn is the only person that booked for Wednesday, then we just take Selwyn on that tour. So it doesn't matter of the amount of people. As long as you book a tour, we are available to take you on whichever package you choose. So it's just a matter of connecting with us via the email, the website, or Facebook, Instagram, or even TripAdvisor. We're also on TripAdvisor.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach out to us and we make ourselves available.
Okay. So if you have several, how many of you are involved with this? If you have several people wanting to go on tours at different times, how does that work?
Okay, so first of all, we're allowed to take up to 30 persons per tour. That's the legal amount of people that one tour guide can take on a tour. So let's say we have 30 on one and 30 on another. We have other tour guides. Well, I'm the chief operating officer of the company. I also work in a capacity as a tour guide also. So we have myself as a tour guide, we have my partner as a tour guide, and we have two other tour guides. So let's say we also cater to special tours also. Let's say you want a tour of a particular part of the city that we do not have as a package, we can cater to that. So let's say someone want a Main Street tour, someone want a botanical tour, someone want a breakdown tour, and someone want a tour of the Starbucks market, for example. That's 4 different types of tours. We have tour guides that we can put to each and every, assign to each and every different tour. So basically, we're pretty much grounded in the way we operate. So we can cater to that.
Is it expensive?
Well, it depends on what you will term as expensive, but no, it's not expensive. It's $25 per tourist, or we have a local fee and an international fee, and a local is 3,000 Guyana dollars. And for a local child under 18, it's 1,500, and for a international a tourist, the international rate is 15 US dollars.
What is your main selling point? Like, how do you convince someone that they should take this tour?
Okay, so what I would say to people is, what really do you know about the country Guyana? It's land of many waters. Okay, what else? Nothing really. So, that's why Privateek Walking Tour is here. Rather than the public knowledge, we're here to give you a lot more information about the history of the country in a storytelling form, which is very entertaining because one of our tour guides is also a local comedian. So, we try to keep it very fun and keep you awake and on your feet and stuff like that. So I would basically tell people it's fun. It's very healthy because you get to walk, and it's also very informative. So, you should really definitely book a tour with us.
Give us a little sample of, let's say you're taking a few of us on a tour. Give us a sample of one of your descriptions or one of the homes.
Okay. Let's say we're doing a Main Street package, for example. And we're passing by the Bishop's house on Main Street. But I would say, okay, so this is one of our sites here. It's the Bishop's house. And this site has a whole lot of history to it. First of all, the actual building, it's not the original structure of it. The whole building had to be restructured because the building was more close to the railways. And the bishop had 9 children. And the children used to throw objects through the windows as people pass on the pave. So because of that reason, they had to relocate the house to the western side of the lawn. So that is just a little fun fact to keep you entertained, along with the history of the actual building. But you have to take it to get more. People find that very funny, which is very true. The bishop kids, he had 9 kids, and they just used to throw objects through the window at people as they passed.
What was his name?
Bishop Austin.
Oh, I see. So what do you like about being an entrepreneur?
Pardon me?
What do you like about being an entrepreneur?
The flexibility. It is a challenging arena, but the fact that I get to be flexible in the nature that, I'm my own boss. If I want to stay in my bed a little late today, I do that. If I want to get up a little early and leave work a little early, I do that. I don't really have to be accountable, like I have a timesheet. And, I like the flexibility of being an entrepreneur and the fact that I get to call my own shots. I get to create my own ideas and execute them. So, make it a possibility, and I don't have to solve for it like, oh, boss, you know what? Well, I have a partner. We're partners. So we basically, approach each other on whatever ideas we have in terms of going forward. But in the nature of being flexible, that's my favorite part.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned partnership. What is that like for you? Well, what were you doing before you started this? You got involved in this business. What were you actually doing or contemplating doing?
started this business with my partner, I was a flight attendant. I used to live in the lovely skies, which was the best time of my career. Apart from now, I'm rediscovering my passion and myself in what I do now. But prior to that, I used to be a flight attendant, and that didn't work out because the airline stopped flying to Guyana, basically. So, I'm just like, okay, so what next? I don't want to go back to a regular 9 to 5. So what do I do now? And then my friend was like, hey, I have this vision, I have this idea, and I want to pull you on board. She used to be a flight attendant too. I was like, okay, so, we said she told me what she wanted us to do, and we just execute the idea, and now it's a reality today. So,
Partnerships.
I used to serve people nice food on the first class, on the aircraft, traveling the world, getting to see all the different places and stuff like that. And that's another reason, too, why I end up in this tourism business, because I get to deal with travel people. And I love travel people. I love people. So, yeah.
Partnerships, they say, can be quite challenging. What makes this... Your partner is Rukaya Boyer?
Yeah.
Right. What makes this partnership work?
That is a good question, because you see where I'm strong, she's weak. Sorry if you're listening, Rakai, just being honest. Where she's weak,
You mean
I'm
you complement each other?
Yes, so we complement each other very, very well.
Uh-huh.
So I believe that it was supposed to happen because of how great we work along. We have such a healthy partnership relationship where we're open about everything. If we have the smallest issue, which issues is very likable to happen because everyone has different point of views on different stuff, but the very smallest issue we work on it immediately and move forward. So, the relationship in this whole business is very healthy, and so because we're very compatible, and I'm very grateful for that.
Do you think your mindset has anything to do with your success in this business?
To somewhat a little, yes.
Mm-hmm. If you had to rate this business from 1 to 10, how successful would you say it is?
9.5.
9.5. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. I really, really like that. What is a good day like?
In the business.
Yes, in the business.
A good day in the business is when we have at least 3 persons on a tour. And
how many?
Well, we haven't had more than since we started functioning.
I didn't number. Sorry. At least what?
At least when we have 3 persons on a tour.
Okay.
The fact that you have a collaboration of different personalities, and then me being the tour guide, have to manage all of that. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty fun. It keeps me thinking and on my toes, and knowing the person I am, I really do appreciate that part of it.
What was most challenging for you when you were guiding people through the streets of Georgetown?
Getting their attention all the time. Because sometimes, something really nice might pass, and you're talking about a building, and everyone is like, oh my God, look at that thing. Because let's say they're not from here, and it's new. Let's say a donkey cart, for example. Oh, wow, that is so nice. Okay, hello, I'm talking in my mind. But, the challenging part is when people are distracted by what's happening on the road. That's when my personality comes into play to bring you back to what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. So, it's challenging, but not to the extreme or to the extent where it sidetracks me.
Are you flexible? Do you go on one route, or do you go on all the routes?
Well, we normally take one route, but providing the person that's doing the tourist or the local, if they suggest another route, we try to accommodate their desires in that aspect. But originally, we just stick on one route.
Where does the tourist... Sorry, I didn't hear the last sentence. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said originally we stick on one route, which is what I was explaining prior. Pegasus Avenue, Conclude. We stick on one route. But let's say the tourist or the local that's on the tour suggest to take another route. We do that so that we can reach your desires.
So, have you, since you've started, come up with some ideas like to make it more exciting, make the you know, you don't have to give out your trade secrets, but do you guys spend time doing that, coming up with ideas to make the tour better and, you know, more exciting, more appealing
Yes,
for the tourists?
definitely, we do. We come up with ideas all the time, and then based on what we come up with, we say how it would work and if it could work.
Uh-huh.
You know, so we have a lot of ideas currently, ideas that we're actually working on right now to establish in the next upcoming month. So we have ideas to set off in September. We have ideas for the May. We have ideas for next year. We have a lot of ideas in terms of going forward and growing.
And I guess you faced some problems in the beginning, as most people do when they start a business. Few customers, things not moving well, and so on. But how do you keep moving on in spite of all these challenges?
The passion that I have for the vision, the fact that I'm not easy to give up on stuff. So let's say something really challenging happens, you know, instead of saying, oh, this is so hectic, which have been a lot of times, I say, you know, the vision. I keep my eyes on the vision, and it always makes me bounce back on my focus. So
Where
the
do you
passion
see
that I have for the vision.
where do you see Provotique walking tours in 5 or 6 years?
I see Property Walking Tour still being the best if they have any order of its kind in that period. I see us still being the best of this nature. I see us expanding in ways of perfection that even if, let's say, others come on board and have the same type of tours, you know, our team is so dynamic that I see us always striving for excellence. So in the next 5 or 6 years, I see Provotique Walking Tours being on, where we're going to have billboards soon locally, but I see us being on billboards internationally also.
I like that. What is one word of advice you would, well, not one word, but what is some advice you would give young people who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs?
I would start by giving them one word, and that is to believe.
Ah,
You need to believe in your thoughts, believe in your dreams, believe in your ideas. If you think that you want to, for example, take a pencil and make it into a chair, don't look at the fact that if someone sits on that pencil chair, they're going to fall. Look at the fact that you're going to get the best type of pencil to make this chair. So focus on the big vision, focus on the big picture. Allow yourself to believe that no matter how stupid or how silly an idea might sound, you can actually make it work. So I would just encourage all young people that if you sit a day and you think of something that's way out of line in the nature of business, that's something that no one has ever come up with, go ahead and execute. Do that thing that you thought of. You thought of it for a reason. So I would encourage you to believe in your thoughts and live those thoughts. Make those thoughts a reality. That's the reason we have all these famous scientists and all these people that invent stuff. You know, they allow their thoughts to become a reality. So I would encourage young people to believe.
do you think that being the chief operating officer for Provotique Walking Tours, do you think that's the best fit for you in this business?
Um, yes, because like I said, I'm a very busy person. I like to be active. And in this part of the business, it keeps me active because I deal with all the operational aspect of the business, which is going here, going there, getting everything up each tour, making sure the police is in. Oh, because we have a police detailing for every tour for security purposes.
Oh, really?
Yes, we're in collaboration with the Guyana Police Force. So for every tour that we have a police detailing so that we can provide the most safest environment for our tourists. So, you know, I have to call up the police in advance, the commander that is, and schedule this, make sure they're there, make sure the waters are intact, make sure the brochures are intact, make sure everything for the actual
Hold
tour
on,
is
hold on,
intact.
hold on,
So
hold on there, Candasy. You mentioned water. Tell us. Okay, here's an opportunity for you to tell some potential tourists what do they get for the $25.
what do they get?
Yes,
Okay, so for your 25 US dollars, you get a brochure. Let me show you a brochure.
nice plug.
Thank you. You get a brochure, you get a business card, you get a little snack, which is a chicken foot, a plantain chip, a tamarind ball, something local, and you get a bottle of water, compliments of Rainforest Water, which is one of our sponsors. So and you also get an
Candasy,
umbrella.
the next time you plug one of these companies, they're going to have to pay CWS. You know, you get a bottle of water. That's enough. Okay, continue.
Yes. And we also have loanable umbrellas for every tour.
What is that?
So we also have loanable umbrellas
Umbrellas. Okay.
for every tour. It was donated by Digital Guyana to the company to help with the sun. So let's say some people like sun, some people don't. We have umbrellas to cater to people who don't really like the sun. So that's basically the package that we give you for the $25, apart from the actual
What time?
experience.
What time the store? What is the last store? What time is the last store?
So we have 2 tours per day. Monday to Friday is the Main Street tour. That we have a 10 o'clock starting time, which is in the morning, and then we have a 2:30 starting time, which is in the afternoon. So each tour is 2.5 hours. Morning one, afternoon one. So it depends on which time you choose.
2.5 hours. That's a lot of walking, Candasy. Every day? You do this every day? 2.5 hours?
Every day is soon to be, but not every day right now.
Oh, okay.
But we're still in our growing stage, so we don't get tours every day, but ever so often we do. And yeah, it's very, very healthy to walk to, Selwyn.
What is I ask this question of everybody, and I gotta ask you, what is the worst advice, business advice anyone has ever given you?
The worst business advice someone has ever given me. Honestly, no one have never given me a worse business advice.
You know, I admire you young people in Guyana because it seems to me you guys
Because
have.
I'm trying to think, and I don't think anyone have ever come to me with a worse advice. First of all, if they start talking, before they end up into the conclusion of what they want to say, I put a full stop because I don't like to entertain negative energy. So I don't think I've ever allowed myself to receive a negative advice.
As I was saying, I really admire you young folks in Guyana because it seems to me quite evident that you're not surrounded by people or allow yourself to be influenced by people who are negative or who might try to dissuade you in some way from doing what you want to do. And that's commendable. That is good.
Thank you.
You know, Janelle was on earlier and she said, well, I have a very small circle, Mr. Collins. I keep it very tight. And so all my friends are very supportive. And it was the same thing with Samantha and Goldman. So I am very proud of you guys. But I have to ask you this question. Did you go out to vote in the LGE? Did you go out to vote in the local government elections?
If I got to vote?
Did you vote?
Yes, look, my finger still has ink, if you can see. I voted.
What is this ink that just stains you guys up?
Yeah, so I voted. I went out and I exercised my democratic right and I voted.
Uh-huh. Were you satisfied with the results?
So far, yes.
Yeah. And you would do it
So
again?
far, yes.
Uh-huh. What did you like about this process, the local government election?
Well, when local government election was around, I don't think I have any memory of it. I don't think I was born yet. So this is like the first time I'm experiencing local government election. So to compare it from then to now, I can't. But
No, I'm not asking you to compare. I'm asking you what you like about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So what I like about it is the fact that, you get the opportunity to vote for someone to represent each community, to represent your community. Normally, you just vote one regional thing, and then, you know, from time to time, work might be done in a particular community. But with local government elections, you get to reach out to a leader of that community to find out what's happening, to know what's going to be next, what's going on. So you have a more wider knowledge as to what's going to be happening for your community and what's happening in your community.
So Janelle, in your last few seconds, tell the audience about Provotique. If you had to sell Provotique right now at this moment, what would you say?
Oh, when I'm sorry, but you're breaking up. I didn't get to hear you.
If you had to sell Provotique walking tours right now, this particular moment, what would you say?
I would say, let me take a walk.
Let's take a walk.
No, Selwyn, let me take a walk. That is our motto. It's Creolese, and if I was to sell it, I would say those words because it tends to catch people. People are like, oh, what did you just say? And then I take it from there. So I would say, let me take a walk.
Let me take a walk. All right, Janelle, thank you.
You're welcome, Selwyn.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.